This is a very honest talk about parenting when you, as the parent, have autism, when you are parenting children. That is what today's video is about. I in no way feel like I am worthy of giving you advice on this topic. I'm looking for your advice. I'm trying to rally in the troops, get a little bit of your advice, and hopefully make me feel better about feeling like a sucky parent. I typed the question in for Bing and it couldn't even answer me. Why it's hard to be a parent when you have autism. And Bing could not even come up with the answer. It just feels like there's not enough information out there. You can find all kinds of things about how to be a parent of autistic children. What if you want to know about how to be a parent if you're autistic and have children? Or you have grandchildren? How to be a grandparent when you're autistic? Those things just simply don't exist as much out there, and maybe I just haven't found them. Comment down below if you know of a good resource for that. I think my agitation is just stemming from my counseling appointment yesterday. So I went to my counseling appointment yesterday and I took my notebook, my journal where I keep notes of when things are going on in my life that I want to talk about, and it helps me because usually when I go to the counselor, if I don't take a notebook with notes of what I want to say, it all comes out as a jumbled up mess. I like having a counselor, and I like that she understands autism in women. She has a lot of patients that are women on the spectrum, and so I appreciate that. Sometimes it's still hard to have a counselor who's neurotypical, I think, because they think it's just so easy to do things their way when they can't even understand if they're not autistic. My complaint was about this ongoing separation from my daughter and how it's been hard and emotional and stressful. And if you've been on this channel for a long time, you know what the situation is that made my daughter stop talking to me and how traumatic it was for me. And I'm not going to go into the details here. So all you need to know is I have not talked to my daughter since August of last year. And I've never gone this long not getting to talk to her, but it's on her behalf. It's what she wants right now. I just do the best I can to move on. I work. I have a son at home I have to focus on and take care of anyway. So at one point I had found a book in her apartment when I was cleaning. I was trying to help her because that's how I show my love, through doing. And I found a book called something about what to do when you have a narcissistic mother, something like that. So I asked her about it, and she said, well, she thought that I was narcissistic until she found out about my autism diagnosis. So it hurt my feelings so much. I questioned everything in our relationship, everything I had done from childhood as her mother, how I saw it and how she saw it differently. And it hurt a lot because I never knew she felt that way. I thought we were close. Even though there was probably a gap in our communication and relationship, I thought I was showing her love by doing things for her and by just simply saying the words, I love you, and giving her hugs. And I thought that was enough. And I thought we had good times. I thought that taking her trick-or-treating and having fun Christmases and vacations, I thought it was enough. But now I question everything, and she has her own struggles. She has not been diagnosed with autism, but she did recently go through a psychiatric evaluation, and I have no idea what the outcome was on that. I know my grandson was recently diagnosed with autism, and I knew all along he was autistic. And I have not seen my grandchildren either since August, not any of them. How hard is it to be a parent when you are autistic? When you think what everything you're doing was right, only to figure out the other person thought it was wrong. And I can't go back and change anything. My counselor told me that I should write her a letter telling her how I feel. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to write her a letter. All of this really makes me feel like I wonder how my son sees our relationship. I'm all the time telling him, look, you know I love you, right? And he says yes. But does he really feel like he's connecting? What I try to do is I try to be a part of what his interests are. If you have any suggestions, please drop them down in the comments, how I can connect with my kids. It's also hard when you're focused on yourself as much as we can be when we're autistic. And I naturally focus on myself, and not because I'm narcissistic, but because I'm autistic. I focus on things I enjoy doing, takes the pain away from whatever I'm going through. I hope that in the near future, my daughter will talk to me again and we can build a relationship, and that she still loves me, and that she can be more understanding and maybe learn more about my diagnosis and know that I love her. And I hope as well as I can understand her and what she's going through and whatever her diagnosis is. My counselor seemed very appalled that my son, who is homeschooling by his own choice, does not have more of a social life than he does. And he's got one good friend right now. He does have a job. He's working 20 hours a week. And so I felt like he wasn't that isolated, but she made me feel like my son is isolated. I've tried to get him into clubs, tried to get him into activities. It really always was not worth the argument or the headache. I didn't want to deal with. Everything I thought I knew about parenting makes me feel like I was wrong. I want my son to have friends, and he has a friend. And how he acts at work around other coworkers, I don't know, because I'm not there. My counselor was like, well, have you gone to his work to observe him around his coworkers? No. What am I supposed to do? Stand there at the fast food place and just watch him interact with others? I don't think so. I think counselors can be great, and I have liked a lot of her recommendations. But there are times her advice irks me, and it's like she just does not understand. So why don't you comment down below if you have any advice for me on parenting a 15-year-old who homeschools and socializes occasionally with his best friend and has phone calls every night with his best friend, and we go places on the weekend. Is he isolated? He goes to work 20 hours. My son does not seem depressed. He does not hang out in his room all the time with the door closed like some teenagers. He's out here with me and my husband and playing with the dogs. And I just don't see any signs that my son is depressed. And I thank you for watching this video. If you made it till the end of this video, you must have really been interested in what I was saying. So thank you for that. This was not scripted. This was just talking about my feelings. So most of my videos will not be like that. But my ulterior motive is I need something to edit today to get my mind off feeling down. So there's a purpose, a double purpose. Talk about how I feel, to hopefully connect with you and get your recommendations or comments or advice, and so I can edit and do my hobby today. So we'll see you in the next video. Hopefully you'll be back.